8 teams qualified for the women's nationals here in Denver, Colorado, but only 3 remain undefeated. And that number will be reduced shortly as 2 of them, Team Anderson and Team Peterson, face off tonight inside the iconic Denver Coliseum. It's day 3, draw 4 of the 2023 USA Curling Women's Nationals. I'm Dean Gemmel, and I'm joined for this evening's feature game by 2023 MACA Mixed Fours champion David Falco. And David, these 2 teams were both expected to contend this week, and so far they're delivering. What do you expect to see in tonight's game?
Well, happy to be here, Dean. Thanks for having me. Obviously, these are 2 of America's top 2 women's teams, so I expect a lot of great shot making. What I didn't have noticed so far this week, Team Anderson seems to be keeping it open so far, as they've logged a lot of blank ends. Some conservative play early, maybe feeling out the ice, maybe feeling out their competitors. And whereas Team Peterson is happy to challenge their competitors and junk it up a little bit early. So we'll see if those strategies stand, but I'm really excited to see how these 2 teams are come out.
Let's take a look at the standings here at the 2023 Men's and Women's National Championships. On the women's side here with the feature game we're showing tonight, Anderson and Peterson on top, both at 3-0. They're followed by young Delaney Strauss and her team, fresh off a bronze medal at the World University Games. They're at 3-0. Kim Rhyme and her team is at 2-1. Madison Bear sits at 1-2. Teams McMakin, Shield, and Workin are all searching for their first win. Here's the matchup for tonight. Team Peterson, Team Anderson. So Team Peterson lead Tara Peterson, second Becca Hamilton, third Corey Teese, and skip Tabitha Peterson. They're coached by Kathy Overton Clapham. And their opponents tonight, Leah Yavaro plays lead for this team. Eileen Geving is the 5th, but she's not in attendance this week. She's out, unfortunately. Lexi Lanigan is at 2nd. Taylor Anderson throws 3rd stones. Sarah Anderson will skip the team, and their coach is Earl Morris. Other sheets underway tonight. On sheet A, we've got Kim Rhyme, her team, facing Delaney Strauss. Our feature matchup is on sheet B. On sheet C, Team Bear versus Team Workin. And on sheet D, it's Shield versus McMakin. So there's going to be a few teams, at least one team tonight, get their first win. It's interesting, David, you mentioned the conservative play of Team Anderson so far. They have recently brought on Earl Morris as their coach, and having known Earl and worked with him a little bit, I think there's a certain kind of team he will actually push to play a little more conservatively than most if he thinks that's the recipe for them to be successful. And I think that might be what's happening here.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was surprised to see Earl walk in the door. I wasn't aware that was the case this season. It's great to see him in the building. He's coached a lot of the world's top teams in the past, and this is a great team with a lot of talent that I think he could help bring to the next level. And so I had a feeling that he might be part of that strategy.
Yeah, I know Earl is a terrific coach with an established track record. Of course, he coached Rachel Homan and her team in Canada for years, coached his son, John Morris. I'll have to admit, I'll divulge that I know Earl pretty well, but great to have him here and working with one of our best teams. Certainly a matchup here that features an established team in Tabitha Peterson. Tabitha's been to 2 straight Olympics. They have consistently, I think, for the last number of years been the top team in the U.S. Sarah Anderson moving to skip this year after playing 3rd for now Peterson 3rd Corey Teese. So she's moved to 3rd, or from 3rd to skip, and now, trying to find her way in that position. I think she will, but it's always an adjustment. So it'll be interesting to see how they attack this game from the outset. It looks like Team Anderson has earned last rock in the last shot draw. So we'll get it started here with Tara Peterson, lead for Team Peterson. First stone, first end. I will divulge that we're having some tech issues with the player mics tonight, so we probably won't be able to get players mic'd up. So if you do catch me, David, say, let's listen in on what the players are saying. Remind me that we may not be able to do that. We'll try to turn up the ambient volume at times to see if we can catch some of what they're saying.
I do hope we can hear some of the conversation. I mean, there's a reason why they're out there and we're up here. So,
is there, David? Really? So interesting here. This is a good example, I think, of something that Earl is probably, a strategy that he's put with his team, rather than come straight around here like a lot of teams would, go right around that center line guard. They're going to draw to the wing. Unfortunately, it looks like she's going to move that off the center line. So we're going to see the no tick rule come into play here, David. So
I haven't seen a lot of those mistakes, but
yeah, I mean, that was she must either set it back or a little too much ice, because they were just trying to draw to the wing. Now Peterson has an opportunity to go behind the guard that her sister Tara put up.
I do like that coming in the house strategy, though. We on my competitive mixed team, we play the back quad strategy. By playing back quad and in, it really tempts the other team to still draw around, and then you have that counter. If it's behind the T line, they're not going to be tempted to hit and roll behind, or and so yeah, I really like that strategy. So again,
I mean, I'm a big fan of it myself. Later in the game, like seventh end, with a lead, if you want to go draw back 8, I think is a great call. Coach Mark Lazar, coaches Team Dropkin, he's a fan of that approach too. But now we're going to see play force to the center. Tara Peterson's rock over curled a bit, so Leah Yavaro has a chance to throw this out turn draw on top of it.
Yep, some early action. We're going to need some shot making to get out of that early miss, but I have faith in them.
You have faith, do you, David?
I do. I've seen this team really play well this week. There's a reason that they're 3-0.
I'll adjust the ambient volume a little bit. Pretty good result. Corner frozen. Now we'll see the stack start to build here. Tabitha Peterson will ask her second, Becca Hamilton, to freeze on top of the yellow stone that Guevara just put there. Have you faced any of these players, David?
Yeah, actually, Lexi Lanigan was part of Minnesota's representation for last year's Mixed Nationals.
True enough.
Yeah, and she has shown she's really proven herself to be a 5-tool player, to use a baseball term here. She's really good on the brush. She can throw weight. She's got touch. In fact, in last year's Mixed Nationals, they had an unfortunate injury to their vice, so she ended up stepping in, and they ended up winning bronze medal last year. So really impressed with her play.
So Hamilton's stone slips a little deep, but goes by everything to be biting the back 4. And now Sarah Anderson will ask her second to take on this run back. Lexi Lanigan will make the straight peel. And we'll see Peterson replace that guard. Becca Hamilton out of Madison, Wisconsin, and brother of Matt Hamilton, who plays second for Team Schuster. They've also won, she and her brother Matt have won mixed doubles numerous times, at least twice, I guess, and been the Olympic representative. This rock is drifting deeper than they would like, though. It's going to settle on the corner of that yellow stone belonging to Anderson. Interesting angles.
Let Sarah off the hook here a little bit. She's going to have a chance to open up the button. Looking at a tap, I believe.
Actually, I think they're switching to. I was going to say that's the first call she indicated would have been the less conservative call. But now going to stay true to form and throw this in more weight, I think. Not a ton of weight.
Yeah, the broom is a little bit deceiving. The hits are running pretty straight this week, and so I've seen down waiters called on the rock or just off it. So
Rock has some curling to do, but does leave Anderson lying shot with 2 Peterson stones lurking. Yeah, they looked at the red onto yellow, but it looks to me like it would probably catch that other red in the back 8 foot.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So lead third Corey Teese. I have to screw up at least a couple names, David, when I do this.
Well, that was really recent. That was this year she got married, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Or maybe, yeah.
I got her name right. I got her position wrong, so that's new for me. This is Rockets curling here, though. And maybe a little fooled by the ice there, so.
Well, it won't be the first time I'm proven wrong tonight.
The complexion of this end has changed quite dramatically all of a sudden. I should add that Dave's on the ice crew here. He's the head ice tech at the Denver Curling Club, and we've been fortunate to have him devote his time and talents to the ice crew efforts here at the 2023 USA Curling Men's and Women's Nationals. Taylor Anderson.
I have been given explicit instructions not to divulge any of our secrets, though, so don't put me on the spot here. That won't go well.
We're going to want to share those at some point on the USA Curling content platform. So
I think that's
which I swear is just days away. So I know I've been saying that for a while, but we're very close now. So Taylor Anderson hits and rolls out, and we are headed towards a blank end at this point with 1 stone in play. Corey Teese with her second of this first end. Tabitha Peterson working hard to hold the line here, and successfully. So Sarah and Taylor Anderson, they're both originally from, I believe, a town called Broomall, Pennsylvania, but they were coached as juniors by their father, Wayne Anderson, who's run a really successful program out of the Philadelphia Curling Club and also works at Bucks County Curling Club. So it's been interesting and fun for a lot of people to see these two develop as curlers. This rock has some curling to do. This was where I've seen a number of teams probably, I think, David, get a little fooled by that intern on that side on this sheet.
Yep, the intern looks like it's going a little straighter than the outturn is, so we saw that outturn over curl.
I wish my intern would go a little straighter, David.
I'm well adept at getting mine started at all, so I could make my intern curl even on the straightest sheet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Pennsylvania curlers are putting out a good show this week so far. Dunham on the men's side is curling really well also.
Yeah, Team Dunham, I believe they're now 3-1. Is that
3-1, yep. Suffered their first loss against Schuster this afternoon, but
they're a tough rink and they're playing well, and Scott's a confident skip. I enjoy watching that team play. Another team I've enjoyed watching develop over the years.
Yeah, of course I don't play favorites being on the ice crew, but my second on my mixed team is Lance Wheeler, so I might have kept in a little extra attention paid on those sheets.
He's joined the East Coasters this year.
That's right.
So Peterson will have basically a chance to try a free draw here, get used to draw weight a bit. Always kind of nice.
A little bonus. Well, I thought we had something brewing here in the first, but it's going to end up.
No, instead we're trying to fill the time now, Dave.
We're
on our way to a blank end here.
This is where those player mics.
Yeah, this is when we really need the player mics and we can put our headset down. But we'll turn up the ambient as much as we can, but there we go. I think we're clever enough maybe to deduce what they're saying, but I'm pretty sure that on this one she'd like to roll a little left. She'd probably like to get over to that spot that's been a little tricky.
Yep.
So
yeah, if she gets
if you can really roll big and roll wide so that maybe your peel for the blank is even easier. But
yeah, or your opponent rolls out and you just have throw through.
Mission number 1 is make the red stone belonging to Peterson go away. I take that way over. So not bad because it is. That's Tabitha's going to put the broom down, or Corey will for Tabitha, but that's a new spot, which adds a degree of difficulty.
See if the wing curls a little more. I expect it to stay pretty true here. This is where I wish I could hear him though, because I think the weight calls have been super key all week, especially on the hits. It hasn't been moving a ton, so a lot of down weight, a lot of board weight, a lot of hack weight, just to make sure that you can move it a little bit, let your sweepers guide it.
Tabitha Peterson, her last stone, first end. She's trying to hit and stick and force Sarah Anderson to peel it out for the blank. And there, they caught a little bit of curl and almost That was hard for a piece there, David.
Yep.
But
Good job.
successful, but now gives Sarah this chance to just toss it through. She's actually taking the path that fooled her maybe on Leo Yavaro's first, the draw.
Yeah, it's always good.
The out turn. Sorry, go ahead, David.
No, you're fine. It's good to see, just for some confirmation. Make sure that if you throw it good, it acts the same way as you did the first time.
Should probably throw the out turn, and then no, it's got the in turn. Good. All right, I was right. So, one of the less exciting shots in curling. The throw through blank is on its way.
The old clock saber.
Yeah. You know, and we always sweep these ones, and I've never seen one of those pick in my entire curling career. We always brush them all the way down. So at the end of the first end, its score will be 0-0 after that blank. We'll be back with the second end after a break. Sarah Anderson will carry last rock in that second end. Is your curling club website clunky and unworkable, or difficult to work with? Either or. Are you tired of your club relying on social media because your website just does not work for your members? Finally, the curling management software your club has been waiting for is here. Check out Warm Room Hero at curling.club today. New software platform, David, that sponsor the webcast. Appreciate that and encourage clubs to inquire about their product. We're back to the second end here. Centerline guard goes up from Tabitha Peterson. And now Sarah Anderson, slightly different than the first end. She's going to elect to go around this with Leah Yavaro's first.
Yep, different strategy. Maybe they're feeling a little more comfortable seeing the lines in the first and guessing how the sheet's going to act, and now they have the confidence to go in and get a little more aggressive here.
It's pretty good, well thrown. Peeks out a bit on the other side, but a good shot.
Love top 8 foot in that perfect depth, in my opinion. Keeps the 4 foot open.
Agreed. I will say, David, if I'm slightly distracted tonight, it's because I'm checking my phone for sales from our merchandise table.
How's it going?
It's been very successful here, and I will let everyone know on this webcast that we'll be launching our online store shortly after this event, Columbia USA Curling branded gear. We're pretty excited about it, and it seems so far that the people here at the arena have been excited to buy it, so that's been exciting.
Well, you've been nice enough to outfit the ice crew with these Columbia vests. They've been keeping us warm in this cold building here, so we're much appreciated.
Well, I think it was the least I could do for the ice crew, even though, you know, I just kept thinking about the dollars I was giving up, David, by giving you those. But yeah, no, happy to do it, considering the hours the ice crew puts in. So, Tabitha Peterson almost perfectly frozen on that Yellowstone. Looks like Sarah Anderson will try to unlock things a little bit here.
Yeah, move the angles around. Maybe she can make that red go in a couple shots.
This is her lead, Leah Yavaro, with her second shot of the second end. Now Taylor Anderson will go to work on it to try to carve it over. Looks like with some success. Pretty good result. Unlocks the back. Probably would have liked the shooter to stay a little tighter to that red stone, but does give Tabitha Peterson here, an opportunity to hit and roll behind with Becca Hamilton. Talking about 2 shots, hit and roll behind or the big freeze. What do you like here, David?
I like this little hit and roll. It's, she's got air between the object rock and the guard, so she should be able to throw a nice controlled weight shot here and get under.
On its way, they're going hard for line early. Tara Peterson with the backward sweeping style. Try to hold line, now they got to carve it over.
Yep, looks good.
And that's pretty good.
Well thrown.
Well thrown stone, well managed. Looks like Sarah Anderson will call for her second Lexi Lanigan to play this run back. Certainly an opportunity to get rid of all 3 stones here. Could probably put us well on the way towards another blank, David.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, here's a really good example. They have the whole 4-foot open, but as soon as things start going sideways, they're blowing it up.
Chips out 1, makes contact with 1, so pretty good result. We'd like to get a little action on that top one too.
Leaves the center guard. Could have been a little better, but
Tabitha Peterson likes to play the freeze here to the back. Not really many other options here, I don't think, are there, Dave?
No. And I expect that we're going to see another rip here on the guards. She makes this one.
Looks like they think the weight is all there. Now they're trying to work it over a bit for line. They don't want to bounce. Well done. Not perfectly frozen, but good enough. And as you predicted, Sarah Anderson will try this run back.
Run double is there. It'd be a heck of a shot.
Run double the light too.
Yep.
If you make it just right.
Yeah, that little bounce gave them an opportunity to clear both of these reds with a perfect stone.
Lanigan, her second end.
On and off, always a good sign. Really close. Nice shot.
Their own at the back, so they do lie 2-3. Tabitha will go to work on the rock on the top 12-foot. Well, they're going to debate a big draw. She'll ask her third tees to play the out-turn hit.
Yeah, with 2 options to run in, either the high guard or that one in top house, I think that she's not super comfortable if that draw ends up in the bad spot.
Yeah, second end, 0-0 game. We don't want to give things away early here. Sweeping it hard for line. Now trying to work it over a bit. Pretty good result. Looks like now Sarah Anderson is going to take on this freeze. She could take one more run, I guess, out of David. What do you think?
Well, I'm kind of surprised she's calling the draw here. I mean, if she makes it perfect and Tab elects to come and freeze on top of that, the scoring area is all but shrunk to 0. So,
yeah, it does seem the way they played so far, I would have expected the run back on the yellow, but she'll ask her sister and third, Taylor Anderson, to play this freeze. It will be, you're absolutely right, it may get difficult to make room for 2 in there. Rock must be a little bit heavy. They haven't touched it yet. Now will it walk over here for them a little bit? It's a pretty good angle.
I'm going to see the long shot here. I think she's dead under.
Pretty good to move it a little bit and she's under, but now there is maybe a chance to get some access to that red stone in the back of the button.
I don't mind the run in either on this on their red in the 12-foot.
Yeah, certainly the angle run, the red Peterson stone, run it in there. But they're going to draw, I think, just try to close down the scoring area. Corey Teese with her second. Hit a good one on her first. Call is 6, which means they think it's top 4.
Either nose or in line with that red on in the 12-foot, I think, is the ideal spot. and then you're really staring a force in the face.
Well, it's not exactly where they want it, but it does close down that scoring area. What do you like here, David?
I'm still looking at that red in the 12-foot. I think that's why they didn't play it the first time, so they could save it for this shot.
Yeah. Would take a really incredible razor thing to pick out your own yellow with this as well.
That's right.
So
yeah,
I think it's worth it. Take a run at this.
It will open up the freeze on the outturn side, but I think that they're happy to clear the front out.
Taylor Anderson, angle run. Off it early, still off it.
Taylor's got her
line.
Arms in the air.
Must be close. Oh.
Really good.
So she was close and made it. So now Tabitha Peterson with a draw to really close down the scoring area, but certainly some draw shot she needs to make here early in the game. So one thing we were discussing, David, with our events director, Aaron Kaler, was we think in future years maybe we make the 12-foot the same color as the blue and the USA curling logo. What do you think of that? Nice little touch.
Yeah, I love it. And it'll give a little signature look to our houses. Yeah. That would look really good.
So hopefully we'll give them the Pantone color and make that work.
I think now that I have control of our ice shed, I'm going to do a Colorado flag C in our featured sheet. Been pretty traditional in years past, but that's my plan for year 2.
You're gonna bust some rules over there at the DCC,
that's right.
Are you?
That's right. Yeah, don't tell our prior ice guy; he won't be happy at all.
Here comes Peterson trying to make the freeze. They're working on this hard. Can they get it there? Is it going to curl too much, and is it going to have enough weight to get there? Going to close down the scoring area again, but over curls and is a little short.
Yeah, got the whole USA curling logo. Speaking of it.
There you go. Opportunity now, Anderson. So they're going to discuss the, I don't know, I don't think we'll be able to catch any of what they're saying, but I'm going to say they're discussing corner freeze.
Yep, corner freeze.
I don't love the chapping off it.
No, if they bounce open, then Peterson's going to have a double opportunity.
Really easy double. So
yeah, I think you got to. I mean, and the corner freeze on your yellow one too is problematic.
So they're talking about the corner freeze. They did motion him a tap, but even a slight bounce is problematic.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe they've settled on the corner freeze.
Yeah, if you corner freeze perfectly and still have access to it with your last, there's an opportunity to move both of those reds and maybe even bring 3 into play. So I think this is the shot. Anywhere else, and I really see an opportunity for Peterson to pick out the shot stone.
Sarah Anderson going to play a precision corner freeze with her first here in the second end. Anderson lying 1 right now.
On it early, like certainly being the miss.
I heard top 8.
It's pretty close.
Now they're getting at the curl. Peterson's over curled, but now they're playing almost a straight guard. Well,
both of those draws moved a little bit more than they expected. So
yeah, at one point they started to sweep for curl, which didn't seem to be necessary. But Peterson now with a chance to come down and corner freeze on the yellow B shot. Even if she's not shot, it's difficult to see how Sarah Anderson scores 2.
Well, that high guard is pretty long. If it's in the right spot, she might be able to use that red in the top of the 4-foot to eject it from the button and maybe bring hers back into play if this one's well made.
Peterson, last shot, second end. Trying to steal one or get a force here. They haven't laid a brush to this. And they're tapping, which is not really something they want to do. They're going to go by it.
Shot rock.
It is shot, but now it's in some ways a gimme 2. Just has to come to that red stone, move it. I think they can just move it a few inches to be shot.
If it goes to the back red, I think they get their
still
2
shot
here.
even if it goes right onto the back red, wouldn't they? Pretty close, I think so.
Yep.
They'd get 2. Play it as a straight draw. I think this is a shot where it's easy to think, oh, you could throw a little more weight and then sail by and just chip off it. So
yeah, it'll straighten out in a hurry if you throw a little too much.
All right, so here we go. Last rock, second end. Sarah Anderson with an opportunity for 2. Playing an out-turn draw, hoping to move that red counter ever so slightly and score 2.
Really grateful right now that she got to throw a tester on the first one, just to get a feel for what it's doing out there.
Taylor Anderson and Lexi Lanigan, but the brush is down. 7-8, so the weight's close. Now it's about line. Weight's close. Can they hold the line? Taylor Anderson trying to hold it. Now curl. Really close and well done, well made. 2 for Team Anderson, so they'll have a look at it. Let's see, but I think they'll quickly concede that. So a 2 for Team Anderson here in the second end. They'll head to the third end with a 2-0 lead, and Peterson will have the hammer. We'll be right back. Back here at third end. So David, I'll tell you, I was pressed into duty tonight to give Tyler George a little break on a 4-draw day, but I'll put my business hat on for a second here. We saw the ad for Columbia, and I just want everybody in curling to know what a terrific sponsor they are. They've been great to deal with, great to work with, great products, and they'll be out here tomorrow night. So if you and like I said, we'll have I'm really pitching here now, David, but we'll have USA Curling Columbia gear for sale online shortly. For sale here, but once we're done here, we'll start selling it online as well. So there we go. Look at that Columbia logo. I'm shameless at this point, David. Just shameless promotion.
You're good at it. I already bought my quarter zip. I know you gave me a vest, but I spent some money, so.
We've got USA Curling Membership Services Manager Gabby Tack is managing the merch table, and she's quite a salesperson, I'm going to say. So it's going well. So an exchange of hits here to start this third end. Anderson, a little more conservative call, scores a 2. I like that call, actually. Goes top 4 with it. I think Tabitha here, third end, thinking she's not unhappy to waste an end here, blank this, and take hammer into even ends. Even though that even end strategy has been disputed by a few. Is that going to get out? I don't think it will.
No.
That's an unfortunate miss. And Tabitha Peterson will put up a corner guard now.
It's like laying up on the golf course. You think you're doing the right thing, and then all of a sudden it goes sideways on you.
A lot of rec curlers here will elect to split the rings. At this level, it's a long way to go with split rings to split the rings if you're trying to get a 2. So Tabitha will put up the corner guard. Her blank strategy is probably out for now. She may return to it as the end progresses. Sarah Anderson will be forced to play this hit on that one just on the edge of the 12. We'll look at scores from across the sheets. On sheet A, it's Kim Rime and her team against Team Strauss. Team Strauss up 1-0 in the third, playing the third. This is our feature game. Anderson up 2-0 over Peterson. Bear and Workin tied 2-2 after 3, and McMakin and Shield tied 1-1 after 3. Shield has a hammer in that game in this third end, and Bear has the hammer in the third end against McMakin. And I think that Strauss has Rime has the hammer in the third end against Delaney Strauss. So they hit and roll out, giving, I think whether they rolled out or not, Tabitha Peterson's probably making this in-turn come around, David.
Yeah, it's actually not a terrible result rolling out, because had they stuck it, they would have potentially given a jam stone for Peterson.
Yeah, probably wasn't going to help them much back there. Lots of room by the guard here, I think. Now it's starting to go.
Yep, swooping hard to curl.
It's another shameless plug as it goes by the Columbia Infinity logo, the Infinity Heat logo. So enough peeking out that Sarah Anderson thinks her second Lexi Lanigan can dig it out here with an in-turn.
They're a little tick on the, are taking out the corner guard as well.
You talk about that as not a bad result. Sometimes you have to be careful, don't you, David? If you start to think about the pro side miss, then all you start doing is pro side missing.
It's pro side missing, yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a trap.
I see that happen a lot. You got to sometimes really try to make the shot. And as I say that, there we go, just by the guard. Great shot. Rolls open. Papered the guard.
Rolls well away from.
Yep. Tabitha's going to ignore that. Would be an opportunity to probably trade hits and keep a blank in play, but
trying to make it better. They made that first one pretty good, so tighten up the broom a little bit.
Becca Hamilton. Lots of rotation here. Looks like it's running a little bit. Rock might have some pace. Is it going to stick around? We'll hang around at the back for second shot.
She looks like she's got most of the rock from the hack.
Yeah, so she'll ask her sister Taylor to remove this with board weight. Love to roll like a rock or a half rock to the left as we look at it. In-turn board weight takeout. Taylor Anderson. They're on it early for line, trying to hold the line. Got to get by that corner guard. Looks good. Now they're trying just to hold it, so they maybe roll a half rock. Ends up a nose.
Well, the aggression only goes so far, it looks like. They're now going in a little bit of cleanup mode here.
Yeah, with two Anderson stones in the rings, Tabitha Peterson will ask Corey Teese to hit and hopefully roll, at least in the vicinity of that corner guard. Looking for a big roll here. I think they're going to get more nose than they wanted. Nose or even cross it a hair. I believe Sarah Anderson now will be perfectly content to trade hits as this end progresses. Certainly an opportunity for a force with Taylor Anderson's second in this third end. In-turn hit on the way. Is it going to stick around? Awfully thin, but they may get lucky. The only thing they've done is create quite a wall back there, David.
Yeah, over curled on them. Seems like inside the 4 foot, inside the 8 foot, it's straightening out. But once you get to the wing, we're getting some movement out there.
Now, really, Peterson doesn't need to fully bury this one.
No,
if it lines up well on the back, it's going to be problematic.
The little teaser.
Yeah,
that's a good one. It's a good result.
And a good result. Slips behind the tee line. This does give Sarah Anderson an opportunity to freeze to it. But bit of a nervy shot here in the third end for her.
Yep, can't bounce off. The run takeout's not really an option with those yellows in the back, so this is the shot.
Also, I mean, they have to be, we've seen rocks curl hard by the guard here, so she'll have to make sure they can't paper the guard, or will end up on the wrong side of the red stone and not be shot. So she made a beauty with her last in the second end to score 2. Needs another good draw here. On and off it all the way down here. By the guard pretty nicely. Now, can they get it there for shot? I think it's shot.
Well thrown.
Thrown well swept. Tabitha Peterson talks it over here with Corey Teese. Again, if you're just joining us, we don't have player mics right now. So trust that Dave and I are not purposefully talking over players, which is the bane of all webcast viewers. I think they can move this though, right? And lie 2.
Yep, it looks like they're over the top. There's enough room there.
They don't have to move it all the way out. They just have to.
Yeah, get it to touch blue, and they're in pretty good shape. Careful not to roll too far and set up a double.
Yeah, move it a 1.5 feet or a foot and lie 2. Taking a long time to discuss this.
What's your call here?
I think I'd be trying to move it. I think you can move it and roll just a fraction. You might leave a double, but I think it's worth a chance to, you know, move it about as minimally as you can, really, just to lie 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you can roll even, that's pretty good.
Yeah. It might be open enough from the, I mean, it's still relatively open. You might be able to roll bigger than at first I assumed, but first order of business would be to move it enough to be lie 2. Tabitha Peterson, first shot, third end. On it early. It looks like they've got some work to do to get this one there. No, now they're back. Now, can they get the line right to push it just far enough? They're going to bounce off.
I think a little less weight than was needed to make that one.
Less weight, but it was hanging, so they couldn't really sweep it too much. I guess they got caught in between. Anderson will look at this now. There's certainly an opportunity for her to make a hit and a slight little roll under and force Peterson to draw for one. Just avoid leaving some sort of easy double there. But
yeah, right on the nose, and it's I think it's a nose back for 2 for red.
So Sarah Anderson, after a pretty good shot on her first, try to hit and roll about a half rock Under the corner guard, a little bit under the corner guard. Not leave a double. Pretty solid weight on this. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Ooh. That was not the outcome they were looking for. And they've gift wrapped a 3 here for Tabitha Peterson. A 3 snuck out of the bag in a way that they didn't expect. I think there's a lot more weight there than I expected, David.
A lot more weight, and then this ice so far this week has been pretty punitive if you set it, which a lot of these teams are used to doing in regular play, but the big sets are running really straight, especially around the center line. So she just got caught there with that.
So Peterson, who I think just moments ago did not imagine a draw for 3, now has one. Just needs to touch the 8-foot for 3. On its way. Sweepers on it. Trying to dig in. They feel pretty good about it now. They'll guide it into the, try to put it right in the lid for your skip, make them feel good. So that's 3 for Tabitha Peterson, an unlikely 3, but a 3 nonetheless, and we'll head to the 4th end with Peterson up 3-2 over Team Anderson. We'll be right back.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
Fourth end, 2023 men's and women's national championships. Team Peterson versus Team Anderson. Both teams undefeated. Peterson takes a 3-2 lead into the 4th end. And I'll put my shameless business hat on again and note that last video there, David, is one that clubs can request and use to send to participants after a learn to curl. So it's a nice little piece. It was actually a suggestion from some people at Mopac to develop that video last year. So it's available. And hopefully, I think some clubs have used it successfully. These people, though, are not participating in a learn to curl.
They've done this before, once or twice.
Yes. So corner guard going up here after Tabitha Peterson asks her sister and lead Tara to bring her rock into the rings. Will this stop in time? It does just. Tara's first Dorn, sort of in a vague position, just half in the 8-foot, but Tabitha will elect to guard it nonetheless. Early call out of hand is 3. Tight to the rings guard. Tara Peterson begging it to curl a bit here. Becca Hamilton doing the blade technique to try to make it curl a little bit more. Does your mixed team do that?
Well, I'm lucky enough to have one of the greatest sweepers in the country, Lance Wheeler, on my team, and he can do things with a broom that most mortal humans can't. And so he's very effective with the blade.
Just a shameless plug for Lance there, who's a, he's a fine fellow, though. I enjoy seeing him at these events. Lee Yavaro's second. trying to make a play on the rock in the rings. He's got to curl a bit, though. This is trouble. And that's going to find its way through that hole and just chip it over and roll out. So 4 rocks in. Peterson with a guard up and one half guarded behind it, just outside the 4-foot.
Looks like she's debating either a high guard or coming in the house and tapping it to the 4-foot.
What do you like here, David?
Well, I don't love the spot of that one in the 8-foot, so I think she's trying to improve her position a little bit, which I like a lot. She's happy to see a blank here, or if she wants to generate a steal, this is the way to do it.
I think she might have elected to come around the works.
Oh yeah,
which I like. I think the tap, it's hard to tap that into a good spot and not have your shooter end up in a bad spot. So I think they're going around everything now, trying to. Tight to it. They will finish here if they can get it by. They'd like to just tuck a little piece of it behind there. They'll get a little piece tucked. Christmas treat of sorts. Enough that Sarah Anderson's going to play this run back.
Might be able to get them all moving here.
Lexi Lanigan's first. They've been asked to play a few of these run backs so far. Out-turn run. Good action in the rings and roller shooter away, so pretty good result.
Benefit of that being that gives her another corner guard.
The corner guard, then Tabitha Peterson is choosing to eliminate that one and hopefully roll over towards the center. Becca Hamilton, in turn, hit and roll. Tara Peterson thinks it's a little heavy. A little more than they wanted. Now she's trying to sweep it over. It's thin. Now a lone red rock remains in the 4-foot. I think we'll see Sarah Anderson elect to remove that.
Well, she's playing a freeze on this shot stone.
Well, that's unexpected, I think.
Yeah, interesting call here.
I don't mind it, but it's a bit of a departure from how they've played so far.
Yeah, that corner guard is a bit far to the wing, but I think if I was drawing, I would attempt to use it. The straight freeze is a much more precision shot.
Well, 4th and 2, they could hit and trade hits and work towards a blank without a whole lot of action going on right now. Of course, she's going to get right on the corner pretty nicely while throwing. Beauty. Sometimes execution trumps all strategy, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Call a hard shot and make it. Looks pretty good.
Well, she goes from peel to draw. Not the easiest thing to do in this sport. Makes them both very nice.
This is Corey Teese, who previously skipped a team with the Andersons on it. So, works out pretty well, that call, the freeze, and now they've chiseled that yellow almost behind the corner guard, and a chance for Taylor Anderson to hit and roll to lie 2.
Far too many T names.
Yeah, and I've been here since 7:30 or so. David, you've been here probably since
I got
5:30.
Yep.
So
it's a long day, longest day of the week. We'll get through it.
Got 1 4-draw day here this week, and this was it.
This is it, and they asked us to do the last commentary of the day.
Yeah, shockingly, Tyler asked me to do the last one, although if I was him, I would have asked me to do the 8 a.m. one. But
that's
nonetheless,
right. Didn't think that one through.
Yeah. Well, they're going to roll the other direction. Might have been worthwhile trying to let that one curl and really roll big, but slash double there, not a super easy one, but certainly there.
No, probably rolls out also, so you might have another chance to use that corner guard. Well, I was thinking they might have the B squad doing commentary tonight, but if we could be on the all USA curling hair team. So we got that over Tyler.
Geez, I didn't say that, Dave. I don't know. We're hanging in with hair in our advancing years somehow, but this is close. There it is. There's the double. Does roll out, as he said, and does give Sarah Anderson a chance to go behind her own corner guard here and still produce a deuce. Now, David, you're in Denver now. You've been out here for a number of years, I believe, but you started curling at the Norfolk Curling Club in Norfolk, Connecticut. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah, I was early '90s. Started as a junior. Lucky enough to go to a bunch of junior nationals back then. And left the sport for about 16 years, but when I moved to Denver, it was a month after we opened the doors at Denver Curling Club. So I've been there just about 8 years now.
It's funny. That's a path that I took as well. I didn't get to play much between 1991 and 2006, and then came back to the game and was able to squeeze out a bit of success in my advancing years, but my declining years. But yeah, it's we were in that era where it was tough to find a way to play at a certain age. So Taylor Anderson slips through there, and now Tabitha Peterson will be content to peel this out. She could also just draw open to the other side, but I think this is the safe call. She's fresh off a 3 in the third end, so she'll peel this out and we'll be headed towards a blank, giving us plenty of time, David, to talk about junior curling days. You curled with Barbagallo, John Barbagallo.
That's right.
Curl with him in junior?
Yeah. Yep, he was my skip for my first 2 trips to nationals.
Yeah.
He's currently the ice maker back there, and I played in their men's Bonspiel. It was my first time in their new building. Of course, they had fire in 2014, and we're lucky enough to be able to rebuild. It's a beautiful club. 2-sheeter in the middle of the woods, very quaint.
This rock's curling hard. Intern going hard early. Don't want to leave this around anywhere, but she won't. Tara Peterson will make sure it exits. A little surprised she didn't play that with the out turn. A little easier peel, isn't it, with the out turn than the inside out peel?
Might be a personal preference. I agree, though. It's a shorter trip to the boards with that intern. Maybe hoping to roll on.
Sarah Anderson will just draw into the rings. Out-turn draw.
Where did you grow up curling?
Well, I grew up in Niagara Falls, Ontario. I curled at the Niagara Falls Curling Club, and I went to school in Montreal, Quebec, and actually played in an 88 Brier for Quebec, and then I moved to the U.S. in '91. So I've been an American citizen since 2000 and lived in the United States for more than half my life, and grew up on the border. And my dad worked in the United States, so
Gotcha.
I feel quite American.
So Sisters Club with Rochester up there, huh?
I guess, yeah. I never went and played there much, but at all as a kid growing up. But yeah, it was a great place to grow up curling. 6-sheeter in the falls. It used to be at one time. It had it was one of the biggest populations of American curlers at that club, because it was right on the border, and a lot of curlers from Buffalo. Now they have their own club in Buffalo, but curlers would make their way to play at the club in Niagara Falls. So. I've been a member of the Plainfield Curling Club. I always got to give my home club a shout out. Plainfield Curling Club since 2006 in South Plainfield, New Jersey.
Another 2-sheeter.
2-sheeter, maybe not as elegant as the one you grew up, or the one that replaced the one you grew up in. Yeah.
When I grew up, it wasn't elegant either. There was one locker room with a curtain.
Our 2-sheeter has humble charm though, and a great bunch of members. So Sarah Anderson will try to peel this one out. Sort of a so-so end for Team Anderson. Maybe a couple of opportunities missed to develop a 2. They'll try to peel this out and head to the 5th with the hammer. Out turn, skips peel, Sarah Anderson. Here we go. Looks like it's tough to get that one out, so that'll be a single for Anderson. Last rock will flip to Tabitha Peterson as we head to the 5th end. It'll be 3-3 Peterson with hammer in 5.
The everyday person may not aspire to be a professional athlete or an Olympic athlete. You may just want to be the best person you can be. You just may want to sleep better. You may want to feel better. Thorne has many products that can support all of those things. So it's not just about performing or running faster or jumping higher. It's those little things that go into having a higher quality of life.
Well, the opportunity, we're back here at the 5th end, but the opportunities for me to make shameless plugs for our sponsors just continues.
You're much better at this than Tyler is, so.
Thorne products, you can, they're a sponsor of ours. You can buy Thorne products. Go to the shop on our website, go to shop, you get the best deal you'll find online on Thorne or anywhere else. They've got great supplements, vitamins, etc. Athletes love them, and even creaky old guys like you and me, David, we love it too. So
I actually use their products. I was aware they're a sponsor.
Nice.
Oh, John Barbagallo just texted me. He must be listening.
You can get a fine deal on those. There's the QR code right up there for people who are fancy and can use those. Centerline guard for Leah Yavara wants to leave it outside the rings though, and it looks like it's going to slip in, so a mistake there. Be important for Anderson here to at least get a force and be able to take hammer into 6. Maybe have hammers in 6, 8, and 10.
Word travels fast. I guess we got to be careful what we say here.
Well, I know you got to be careful what you say, but I would say nothing but positive.
No.
I'll be a fountain of positivity up here. So Peterson hits and rolls to the wing, and Sarah Anderson, not much choice but to deal with that. She could put up a center line guard and really go hard for a force, but going to hit and roll in. Now can they hold the line here? Another spot, I think, maybe just a little less weight than they were expecting there, David, and it curled.
Could be. We've seen that intern fool him a couple times now.
I think it's pretty weight sensitive as you get wider on the sheet, perhaps, and I'm talking to an ice tech here, so. Our head ice tech, Sean Olson, preparing the surface here with his crew of volunteers. It includes David and people from around the country. I made mention of that at the opening ceremonies. We have a crew here that comes from all over and works ridiculous hours, and they're much appreciated. So Sarah Anderson will put up a centerline guard with that rock settling in as a corner guard for Peterson. Apparently there are people in the YouTube chat, love to hear about that, but somebody's asking about the growth of the game in the United States and what we should do. I think that's a multifaceted approach to keep growing the game, David, and we're certainly working hard to help do that. One of the things we find now too is going forward, I think we look a little bit further out in metro areas like this one. It's almost going to become a question of capacity at some point, right? I mean, your club has how many members?
We have about 430 members, 4 sheets, so we are, pretty full.
Yeah.
There is obviously Rock Creek Curling Club, which opened its doors a year ago, December, and has 6 sheets and plenty of capacity to go.
Yeah, so that, we had our U18s there at Rock Creek. It's owned by Sean Armini Stevenson. It's we're also, I guess, Sean was part of getting the Denver Curling Club grant, but it's great to have 2 facilities out here, and both are fantastic. We'll be back in at the Denver Curling Club in April for the Mixed Fours Playdown, or the Mixed Fours Nationals, I'm sorry. And the U18 Nationals are going to be at Rock Creek through 2026. Just had the first one we've had there. in mid-January, and I think if you asked parents and competitors, it was a pretty great spot for it.
It's a beautiful building. Yeah, we're really lucky to have both of these clubs in this state. Going
Yeah,
from,
I think one of the challenges going forward, quite frankly, will be, we need more models to make clubs, to have facilities built, whether it's member-owned volunteer clubs is certainly one way. Obviously, an operation like Sean and Mimi's is another way. And we want to be successful to accelerate growth of facilities. And I think we need to continue to find ways to interest people outside of the Olympic years as well. I think that's always been a bit of a shortcoming for us. We get a lot of buzz during the Olympics, and then we struggle to maintain that a bit in the quad, and we have to figure out how to address that. I don't know about you, Dave, but I don't have all the answers yet. I'm going to work at it, but I don't think I have all the answers yet.
Oh, don't look at me.
Yeah, we'll keep working at it, and always happy to get suggestions and ideas from people as well. Becca Hamilton, after a nice hit and roll by Lexi Lanigan, Hamilton will try this run back. Just over curls.
Yep, Sarah once again has something building here. A couple corner guards, one in play.
So I heard an I like it on the guard. They debated the hit and roll on the corner. Tough shot to hit that corner and roll precisely to guard, and it's pretty deep as well, David.
Yeah, good chance for rolling on. The corner, yeah, the hit and roll, really low percentage shot. Can be the difference maker at this level, though, if you're able to make those.
I think, though, with 3-3 without hammer, it's a good time to maybe guard this and try to work towards the force. Doubtful that rock will be good enough to steal, of course, but certainly a chance here to work towards the force. The rock's got some curling to do, though. Looks like it's going to just get barely edge to edge. Now, opportunity Peterson. Corey Teese, her first. Fifth end.
Hard on the carve to get enough of it.
It sticks around, it's dead to the world back there, which it does. Great shot. Tough shot she's lining up here, David.
Yep, even if she's a little thick and she rolls behind, she could have something working behind that center guard.
Also, though, pretty easy to stuff the red onto the red and leave a red there.
I guess the good part about this is it's a two-way shot. You can go over the top or hit it then on the thin side.
Of course, the other option would be to straight come around, but they're going to play this. On it hard for line. Can they hold it? Makes the double, and there you go.
Pretty good
execution again.
Yep, bails him out there.
Rolls a hair too far, but great shot there from Taylor Anderson. Looks like Tabitha Peterson asking Corey Teese for board weight. Been interesting to see Tabitha develop into one of the world's top skips, actually. She was a longtime front end player. I think she played third as a junior, maybe, but she played front end with Allison Pottinger and Nicole Jornstad and Natalie Nicholson for a long time, and then moved to skipping and really blossomed as a skip.
That was on Nina's team, correct?
Yeah, the lineup started out with Nina skipping and Tabitha third, and then Nina, who's now retired from competitive curling, but she went on maternity leave. Tabitha started skipping and
never looked back.
Yeah, really felt comfortable in the role. Comfortable enough that when Nina came back, Nina wasn't upset about having Tabitha stay at the skip position. So they went on a real run together for that last quad.
She's got a really great temperament for the position. All the really successful skips that I know are really even.
Seems
too
to
high,
work
not too
best. So Sarah Anderson will try to play this out-turn hit. Rock's just in the rings, so she'd really like to be able to roll on at least, or roll under, but needs to be in the rings to avoid presenting the opportunity for Tabitha Peterson to score 2. Got the dead nose, and that's the issue here.
The one lucky thing being that those guards aren't staggered, so if they do make a good draw, they'll have something to run in.
We'll have that angle run to play as one option. But Tabitha Peterson seeing an opportunity here for a skip's deuce. Cowbell in the arena somewhere. Peterson in turn draw, trying to bury one and generate 2.
Cowbell's right at home in this place.
Yes, the iconic Denver Coliseum, home to the Denver Stock Show. And if you were like me and here about 3 weeks ago and you saw all the dirt in here, you wouldn't be amazed that it turned into what we have here now.
You can see a great time-lapse video on the USA Curling Facebook page of the conversion. I was at the stock show and have a picture on my Facebook page of the same view from the same seats 2 weeks apart, and it is mind-blowing that happened.
I will say I was in here during the stock show because I was here for the U18 Nationals, and I didn't want to think about it too much.
That's right.
It was a lot of dirt and dust in here, and we haven't had any issues with that.
No, the ice has been amazingly clean. We go out.
The players to keep their shoes, changing their shoes on the ice, but I think they've done a terrific job here at the Denver Coliseum of transforming it from rodeo to this and relentlessly cleaning, etc.
The staff has been unbelievable. Yep.
Tabitha Peterson slips a little deeper than she would have liked there.
Ignoring that run for now. She thinks she has enough room behind that guard to come around and move it.
Well, even if she's not shot, it will make the 2 difficult for Peterson. Sweeping it hard for weight here and for line a little bit. Can they get it there? Looks like it's going to over curl. That will leave Tabitha Peterson with a draw for 2. She'll need to touch the button just about, or full 4 to score 2. So over curling and a fraction light there, David.
Yep, pound more weight would have made that one.
Pound more weight. I always use that. Some people don't wonder what that means, but I think we're on the same page.
Yeah, I mean, I think I appropriated from Canadian broadcasts. That's a
Tabitha Peterson draw for 2, 5th end. Hoping to go up by 2 here and head to the 5th end break with a lead. Well, she'll have a lead no matter what. Will it be 1 or 2? On and off it, usually a good sign. Now they're going to check the hog-to-hog time and see what they think. It's close. And I'd say that's pretty good. Peterson's going to settle into the USA Curling logo button for 2. So after 5 ends, it will be Peterson 5, Anderson 3. We'll go to the 5th end break and be back after that.
Let's say you're in high school and there's a sport you like, but sometimes you think, you know, it might be cool to try a new sport.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
We're back here for fifth end break. The fifth end break, it's time for the fifth end break, brought to you by, you guessed it, Warm Room Hero, the intuitive curling club software that takes the stress out of schedules, registrations, and more. I'm a former club president. I know what that's like. Warm Room Hero, though, is a platform built for curlers by curlers. Check out Warm Room Hero at curling.club today. There's the QR code. And boy, I better make another shameless plug here as well there, David. We got 20% off floor curl and other kits from through our partners at Rock Solid Productions. You can find those on our website. Go to shop and you'll find those there as well. So 20% off for member clubs buying any of those products. Have you tried any of the street curling, floor curling kits, David?
Yeah, we have a couple of sets of our own at Denver Curling Club for outreach programs. We're currently working with high school in Wheat Ridge, which is just west of here, and exposing some of their high schoolers to that version of the sport.
Yeah, it's something we'd love to get into, is get that floor curling, especially some more elementary school physical education programs. Trying to do that. It's not easy because it's a bit fragmented market, but we will keep working at that and hope we can make that happen. So your take on the first 5 ends, David, of this game? 5-3 lead for Peterson.
Yeah, Team Anderson obviously left some opportunities on the table there, and just like you could expect at this level, Peterson capitalized on those. We'll see if they can regroup here at the fifth end break and come out strong with hammer. Obviously, taking a deuce in the sixth end would make this back to an even matchup. So, focus here. I know they're mentally strong. I have, high
that was your
hopes
math there, Dave. You said they get to 2 here and they make it even again with the score 5-3.
This late.
That's the kind of insight you get from an ice crew member.
This late in the day after 16 hours.
On a 4-draw day. So yeah, but I appreciated it, Dave, because I wasn't entirely sure until you said that.
Captain Obvious. Yeah.
No, I'm not very good at math, so I'm glad you shared that with me. So now I know that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think Anderson will have to press the issue a little bit more now than maybe their original game strategy was, and they'll look to try to get back in this with a crooked number.
Get your tickets ready. It's time to draw the winner for the Putt for Cash raffle. If your ticket is drawn, please make your way down to the ice.
So if you hear that in the background, we've got so all week here. I don't know how much Tyler has talked about this already, but we have the field is 8 men's, 8 women's team, but we put 5 sheets in, 5 sheets of ice in. So we have one sheet where we've used it for team. People can buy raffle tickets and have a chance to throw a rock and win the pot that's in the raffle, or put it in the rings, and if they put it on the button, they win the pot. If they put it in the rings, they get Columbia branded merchandise. But tonight we've mixed it up a little bit, and this is going to be a golf putt. We're going to have somebody has to try to put a golf ball from nearly over 150 feet away into the rings at the far end. I don't know if you've tried to putt on a sheet of curling ice, David, but it's pretty tough.
Yeah, we've had chipping challenges on our last day of the season before, and it doesn't take much to get it down there.
Chipping on curling ice, that's
well. Now you chip off the boards, but you try to get it in the house.
Got our lucky winner has made his way to the ice, and I'd like to thank too. We have from the Denver Curling Club and Rock Creek. We have curling gurus in the stands this week who are wandering around in the stands, because we do have people here for the game. They wander around and they explain things to people in the stands. So now we've got the golfer. You can't see him, but let me tell you, he's lined up his putt. Oh, he's drilled it.
Yeah.
Just a hammer shot.
Yeah, the practice stroke.
Now he is allowed to use the backboards and come back into play, but I think it flipped right on his sheet. So once again, USA Curling keeps the pot, and that was not a particularly strong effort by that time.
Well, we got one more idea for you. The ice crew has been using a hockey puck to try to make a goal between the hacks. So maybe we can try that next time.
We may try that. Well, I'm sure we'll get back to throwing rocks as well. Back to our feature game where Tabitha Peterson goes top 4. Sarah Anderson puts up the corner guard. Tara Peterson caps that one that she put in the top of the forefoot. Now Sarah Anderson will try to corner freeze. Yeah, we're trying to have a little bit of fun out here in that extra sheet. We've done some learn to curls on it. We might do another learn to curl late tonight. And we have also had, we have an adaptive learn to curl. We have our para athletes, Steve Empt, and I think Pam Wilson's going to join him. They're going to be out here practicing on Friday, and we'll do an adaptive learn to curl as well. So that's exciting. Pam Wilson, a member of your club, David.
Yep, she threw out the first rock, member of first rock.
Ceremony of first stone. She's a member of our wheelchair curling team. We'll look at scores from other sheets as they're into the 5th end break. Delaney Strauss playing the 6th. She's up 2-1 over Kim Rhyme, and Rhyme will have Hammer playing the 6th. We have our feature game, 5-3 Peterson over Anderson. Madison Bear up 5-4 over Rachel Workin, and it looks as though Madison Bear will have Hammer playing the 6th. And McMakin up 3-2 over Miranda Scheel, Team Scheel. They'll be our World Junior representatives. Scheel will have Hammer playing the 6th end.
Here's some more math for you. A lot of close games out here.
He's a genius next to me. That's what they, that's all that curling knowledge from ice making and everything else.
Yeah, you're getting
scoreboards and call the games close.
You're getting my C material tonight. Apologies.
I'm happy with C or D even, whatever. Anything that makes me look good, David. You keep it up.
Doing my best.
Anderson will ask Lanigan to run some stones in here, this end getting away from them early. A lot of action.
Looking better.
Lanigan's throwing a number of nice run backs. Always getting action on at least a few of the stones in the rings when she's had to do that. Nice shot. Peterson still has the advantage, and we'll try to wrap one around. Christmas tree this thing. Becca Hamilton. Two-time Olympian, and someone who's played both in the mixed doubles and the 4-person curling. Like to tuck a little bit of this, and they do. Christmas treed. Is it deep enough for Sarah to hit and roll on?
Yep, might be able to make them both go away and get a good roll here.
She's asking for hack, I think, so I think she's more focused on rolling on and under that corner.
Making sure she keeps the shooter around, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the double's that important now, especially trailing 5-3.
It's a good look at how weight sensitive the ice is. She's only given about 8 inches of room for a hack weight.
And now they got to work on it. It looks like she might have set it back just a bit when she let it go. And that rock's not going to do what they hoped. It's going to chip that in for another counter, and now definitely advantage Peterson.
A set, maybe a little more than hack weight on that one.
Yeah, it might have been a little more weight and maybe set back just a bit. Corey Teese throwing the out-turn draw, trying to half-tuck one as this rock slides into our view. Just a good question for you, David, from the chat. What goes into the preparation of when you're trying to put ice in a arena like this one? Looks to me like it's a piece of cake, actually, David. I don't know. But,
no problem. Yeah, just watch that time lapse. It takes about 30 seconds.
Yeah. When did the crew get here and start working? When he had a clean surface and he started flooding?
Yeah, so we had about a week in advance. We walked in, and it's a hockey rink, and so they poured about a half an inch of ice for us. The main difference being that we then build on top of that ice surface and separate the sheets with these foam bumpers and walkways that you see. So versus your home club, we're treated as 5 separate sheets with the separation and flood them individually. And so that's the main difference from what we're doing in regular club preparation. This is actually my first arena build, so it was really great to see and be a part of it. Learned a lot from these guys.
That's exciting for you. Not so exciting was back-to-back misses here for Team Anderson. They chiseled another one in. And now Peterson asking Teese to throw us basically the same shot she threw in her first one and can really put some pressure on here.
Yeah, one of the main questions I've gotten so far this week is what's under the carpet.
Ice.
Yeah, ice and a little bit of foam insulation.
It is, you know, I was lucky enough to play in 7 nationals, and it's always exciting when you come out and play in the arena setting. It's, I always enjoyed having people around and get an opportunity to talk with people in the stands. And different ambience.
Definitely messes with your perspective when you're in a normal club. You have walls and other frames of reference, but in this big open space, it certainly makes you rely on your feel and muscle memory from throwing. Same dimensions of sheet, obviously, but it looks a lot different when you're in this big open space.
Taylor Anderson runs one in, does get rid of one red stone in the rings and rolls her shooter off. Peterson still lies 2 and has an opportunity to guard again. Could guard and probably wrap one into just the top 12. Top 12 just on the left side of the center line would be pretty good. Left side as we look at the rings in that photo. That photo, that picture, that video, whatever it is.
Yeah,
People
and
are moving, so it's not a photo.
Thanks for the clarification. Yeah, you keep referencing the Christmas tree. For those who aren't familiar, what that means is that you're showing a piece of each individual rock, kind of a tiered look, and so no individual piece of any one rock is big enough to hit and stick around. Teases and also takes away any kind of run double opportunity.
See, I was queuing that up for you a number of times, David, and you jumped on it.
Finally got it.
What a pro! You got it.
Man.
No, you didn't want to do it too early. You don't want to do it right away. You got to let me say it a few times and not explain it like I should have.
Slap me on the leg.
No, and then get you to weigh in. It's got to curl a little bit, but it's pretty close. Pretty close. I would have liked to maybe buried that.
Yeah, looks edge on edge to me.
It's pretty good. Sarah Anderson will discuss this with Leah Yavaro, who holds the broom when Sarah throws and throws lead rocks. Can't hear what they're saying, but I'm going to guess they're saying intern draw. Piece of the button there.
They can get there both ways. Looks like they have a little more protection if they throw the intern with that high guard of their own.
Yeah, the intern seems a little more natural as you look at it. Could throw the out turn, but I like the intern here.
That fits my eye as well.
You ever play against someone who always seems to play the turn you wouldn't expect?
I do, and it makes me incredibly uncomfortable. I got to tell you.
I've had that experience. An entire game, you'll think, well, they're playing that with the same shot, but they're playing it with the exact opposite turn than I might. So it's interesting. Intern draw for Sarah Anderson. It's a big shot early. It's 6th end, but she's trailing by 2 and in a bit of trouble here. Rushes down. Lanigan and Anderson. Going hard for line, not so much for weight. Looks like it actually had a bit of room. Now, will it slow down in time? I've been a little aggressive on thinking it was that close for line, or they may not have communicated well enough just how heavy it was, but I think they were.
Didn't miss that one in the top 4 by a whole lot, so it might have been a line call.
Peterson now with an opportunity to really close down the area and make it difficult for Sarah Anderson to score.
Yeah, you can see more of the button with the outturn, but considering she just threw the in. I would be tempted to choke that off. Only thing you can't do here is send up any kind of double on that shot rock.
Yeah, that would sort of gift wrap a 2 for if they set up an easy double. But certainly an opportunity here for Tabitha Peterson to really apply some pressure. Her last rock, 6th end. Team Peterson up 2, looking to widen that lead in this end, or at least force Sarah Anderson into a very difficult shot for 1.
Just saw Sarah throw it. They should have a pretty good idea what weight is.
She may be forced because of this, though, to have to play the other turn. This rock's gliding just a bit. Now they're trying to work it over a little bit. They want to close that down and make it so that pretty good results.
Yeah, not bad. I think she can throw a similar shot here.
She can come to it. I think if they'd left it actually higher, you know, David, then might have been better, even if it wasn't fully buried. Just, you know, even with that other rock in the top 4.
Yep.
And then that would have forced the outturn draw, I think.
That's right. Yeah. Less familiar.
Less familiar, and also doesn't look particularly great the way those guards are staggered. It doesn't look like a ton of fun.
Yeah, we call that a negative port.
Yes. You call it a negative port. Is that a Colorado term?
Or a reverse port? What do you call it?
I just call it, I don't know, staggered port that I'm unlikely to get through.
It's always less comfortable when the guard is higher in the direction you're coming from.
Sarah Anderson trying to make this shot to score 1 and keep this game within striking distance, keep her team within striking distance. Rock on the way, in turn, needs to come down to that back red stone just thrown by Peterson. Rock might have some curling to do now.
Yeah, it's a bit wider.
Taylor Anderson trying to work it across. Now they're both going for weight. Line's probably getting better now. Can they get it far enough, though? Don't think so, and that looks like a steal of 2 for Peterson.
1 for sure, maybe a measure here.
We're gonna look at it, but
either way,
my vantage point, it looks like 2. I think Corey Teese thinks it's 2. But I think Leah Yavaro is going to ask them to put a stick on it. So they'll come out. The officials will come out for a measure.
You have to look more than twice. Swing the stick.
Our producer here, John Benton's going to bring us in for a closer look. Always funny when I do the same thing. But once you've called for the measure, we all go over to have another look at it, which really is only an opportunity to perhaps boot one and automatically lose the measure. And I say that knowing I do the exact same thing.
And a word to the wise, oftentimes in club curling, somebody will throw a broom down on the ice to mark those as off limits. However, it's another opportunity to kick an obstacle into one of the rocks.
That's an old school move. That's something people did when I was growing up. It's one of those things that's developed in curling, and then all of a sudden people are like, that's kind of dumb.
It's still around.
Yeah, it's still around out here in Colorado. You got some people sticking with it.
Yep.
I can remember a time when both thirds would put their brooms down. So there's 2 brooms. Lots of chance for people to tumble and fall. I put that up there with the other dumb thing people used to do, which was set up your opponent's rock before you threw yours. So you would pull yours out and then set up the opponent's. Oh, we didn't get a good look at it. It's closer than I might have thought, but it is 2 for red, 2 for Team Peterson. They'll take a 7-3 lead into the 7th end. We'll be back in just a moment.
Just because you're not a professional athlete doesn't mean that you should accept less. The beauty about what Thorne does is our product quality is the same whether they're in the athletic line or whether they're just for the everyday person. Thorne has kept true to never compromising on quality, never compromising on efficacy, never compromising on safety for not only athletes but for everyone who would use their products.
We're back here, the 2023 USA Curling Men's and Women's National Championship. Peterson, Tabitha Peterson, her team with a 7-3 lead over Sarah Anderson and her team. Good time for me to note, David, I don't know if I've already mentioned what a good deal USA Curling members get on Thorne products. If they buy it through the USA Curling shop, they can find it at usacurling.org.
I can't seem to remember. I can't seem to remember.
Right,
but
well,
yeah,
just to be sure.
Yeah, at this time of day.
Back to the action here, though. A little surprise there. Tabitha Peterson slips into the rings. Sarah Anderson trailing by 4. Didn't elect to put up the corner guard.
Yeah, shock here as well. They're running out of time a bit here. I can't see the clock. I don't know if it was a clock management decision or.
I think down 4, the 2 hammers to their 1 strategy doesn't really make a lot of sense, but you know, everybody plays a little differently. But
the only thing I can think is they're looking to take hammer into an even end, but.
Yeah, and he would, if they take hammer into the 8, they'd have 8 and 10 with hammers, 2 hammers to their 1. But down 4, I'm not sure what the analytics would say here. Have to ask Jerry Gertz to run some analytics on that. John Benton might be able to tell me even what he thinks the analytics are. I think the even end strategy is one that's analytics have shown is maybe slightly overrated.
Well, we've already covered that my limits to my math right now is simple addition. So
2 hammers to their 1 is great when you're in a close game. That's for sure. Peterson, of course, here content to trade hits, so she'll ask Becca Hamilton to throw this out turn takeout.
My mom. My mom was a math teacher, so I hope she's not listening.
So now Sarah Anderson's going to put up the corner guard. Sometimes we call this well, not sometimes, it's often called the delayed corner guard. You often see what happened. The second stone goes up as a corner guard. So Lexi Lanigan will play the intern corner guard.
Need to make sure that it's guarding a little piece of the 8-foot so that if they come under, then it's guarding, then they're out counting that red rock on the other side of the house.
Yeah, need to leave it in a place where if they make the draw, they're shot rock. This looks like it's traveling though. I think is going to slip to at least the tee line. Math wizardry has been pointed out to me here in the booth, and yeah, if you did, even if you went 2 to 1, got 2s when the Peterson got 1s, your math doesn't add up. You're still losing. So now they'll trade hits here for a while. Sarah Anderson will ask for a corner guard on the other side of the sheet now. Yeah, I thought, David, when the first one went into the rings, Sarah Anderson might play the delayed corner in her second, but didn't. So now she's going to put up a corner guard here. I think we'll see Tabitha Peterson run up to peel that out. The only challenge for Peterson now is there's 2 rocks in the rings you have to avoid jamming on. It can jam either way with a peel. If you play it with the inside out, you don't have to worry about the jam.
Yep, the boards are very close, so, and there she goes.
Play inside out so they don't have to worry about jamming it anywhere. Corey Teese. One of the nicer deliveries in women's curling, I've always thought, Corey. Slightly raised heel, which is something I always think is a is a great thing if you can do it.
Yeah, especially for shooting. Gets you a little closer to the ice, a little more behind the stone.
I just find people raise, even if it's basically a balanced flat foot delivery, but they have a raised heel, they are able to keep maybe a better line on hits as well. So I was never physically able to lift my heel off the ice, mainly because I was maybe trying just to stay upright, I guess, but I've never been able to do that.
I'm a flat footer too. Hopefully it helps me my knees long term.
I think the biggest thing to help your knees in curling is to stay physically in shape, and then your knees will be fine.
So far, so good.
There you go. Yeah, you're out here living the outdoor lifestyle in
That's
Colorado.
right. Yeah.
Teese with her second, playing appeal, made her first. Working this one a little harder for line. And she'll make that, though, easily. And roll away, so 2 routine shots for Teese. Some people may know Corey as Corey Christensen. She's married in the off-curling season.
Switching gears here, playing a freeze.
Taylor Anderson playing the intern freeze. They try to work their way out of this end. Need some kind of miss to get a deuce now. Switch to promote some more curl.
Last time they played this, they got the miss they were looking for and kept their shot around. This one doesn't look like it's quite going to get to the face.
Doesn't look like it's going to curl quite enough. See Tabitha play this out-turn hit. I don't know about you, David, but whenever I was playing front end especially, and my team was trailing by 4, I found the sweeping got harder and harder.
That's right. Yeah, motivation.
The arms
It's
got
tough to come
heavier
by.
and heavier. You know, the other problem is when you get down like this, you end up playing harder shots, right? You have to play harder shots.
Yep.
You know, it's more physically demanding because you're playing a lot of draws and you're sweeping a lot more than the other team is. They're running up and down the ice, ripping stones and staying fresh. So it's
right.
doubly hard when you're trailing like this. Peterson, her first shot, 7th end. Pokes that through, rolls over slightly.
They do have a bit of a stagger here. Yep.
Say there's an option to go around the works here. I think that hit and roll would look tough from the hack, wouldn't it? I don't know if it's there, but I like going around the works here.
I think so too. That's what she's looking to. Yep.
I mean, you're down 4. Even if you go back 4, you know, create a chance for 2.
Yeah, it makes that little mini slash on the right stone a little harder if the deeper you are.
True. So are you excited to play in the mixed nationals at your home club?
Really looking forward to it. Yeah, last year we
I saw you in
qualified.
Rochester playing. Is it the same team that I saw play last year?
Same team. Claire Morris, who's also in the field this week on Team McMacken, and Becca Wood rounds out our foursome. So, yeah, we're really looking forward to making another appearance and playing on home ice. Yeah, it's going to be a really good time.
Playing on your home ice, Dave. This is really.
I know, my home ice. I don't get to make it, so
you won't be the ice tech for the event. So before a bunch of people show up in the chat and say how unfair that's going to be, David won't be the ice tech for the event.
Yeah, I'm sure whoever shows up and runs an event.
I'm actually going to be the ice tech, David,
oh, yeah?
So it's going to be horrendous.
Oh, great.
It's going to be some of the worst ice you've ever played on. No, I think we're going to have Sean Olsen there. So.
Yeah, I heard a rumor of that today. I wasn't sure if I was all right sharing that. Bro.
We've got a lot of venues to go to this year, but we want to get him to that one too. Doesn't get around everything, leaves the rock in the top of the 12-foot. 5 alarm time now for Team Anderson. I think if Tabitha hits this and rolls like a half rock to the left maybe, or even just noses it.
Blocks the other draw path. That's going to be really tricky.
Tough draw. I'm not sure if these two teams have faced each other yet this year. Have to go deep into the curling zone files, but not deep, but I'm sure I could find it.
Do you have that time to dedicate to that research?
Not right now, I don't know. I will have to admit I was far less prepared for this gig tonight than I typically have been in the past. Trying to make this curl. It looks like it's going to curl too much, and we'll leave an open draw for Sarah Anderson. Needs full forefoot, or just touch the 4, I guess. So against 4, Sarah Anderson needs to touch the forefoot, keep her team in striking distance.
Yeah, force here is not ideal, obviously. Probably going to have to steal 2, if not all 3 of the last ones to make this a game.
Yeah, Tabitha Peterson certainly comfortable with the force. In-turn draw on the way. Now this rock is starting to curl, and it's getting tight to that one in the front there. And they get by, and I don't think they will. They're going to chap off it and roll for second shot. So it'll be a steal of 1. Could have been a steal of a mittful, but it's a steal of 1 for Peterson, and that's going to do it. They're going to shake hands with the score 8-3. That'll be our final here, 8-3. Tabitha Peterson over Sarah Anderson. That means Peterson is we'll see what happens with Delaney Strauss on the adjacent sheet tonight, but Peterson now undefeated at 4-0. And Sarah Anderson falls to 3-1. This is a good time. My last mention here about Warm Room Hero, David. It's the 8th end. We're not going to play the 8th end, but we would be headed to an 8th end. It's a good time for me to tell you that Warm Room Hero is more than just software. It's run by curlers dedicated to building long-term relationships with your club. Warm Room Hero provides continuous support to ensure your website exceeds your members' expectations. Check out Warm Room Hero today at curling.club for special event pricing. So there's that platform, Warm Room Hero, developed by Anthony Darko out of Chicago. Something interesting for clubs to consider. Well, David, it's been a pleasure having you here in the booth. It's considering you're working 18-hour days, I guess a little short game isn't the worst thing for you, but it was interesting for a few ends, and then Team Peterson showed just why they're probably the top-ranked team in the United States right now, and they stretch it out to an 8-3 lead. So thanks for joining us, David.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks for all your efforts in the ice group. Thanks for everyone who joined the webcast tonight. Thanks to Curling Stadium, our partners in this effort. John Benton, Joel Dietz here beside us. Done a great job all week. Appreciate it. And they'll be here. You can check out the other games with the static cameras. They'll still go on. And we'll be back tomorrow morning, I believe, at 10 a.m. Thanks, everybody. Good night.
Good night.